The long, long struggle of ancient times finally ended. The victor sacrificed the vanquished to the heavens. 4 bells tolled, 4 torches were lit. And the world continued for thousands of years. Welcome to Phantasy Star The End of the Millennium, also known as Phantasy Star 4, with me, Dr. J. The Algo solar system, somewhere in space. Once a brilliant civilization flourished here. The citizens devoted themselves to art and the sciences, and life was prosperous and good. Then, a series of disasters struck. The system-wide management system, Mother Brain, was destroyed. So was the first planet, Parma. Over 90% of the system's population died, and the advanced technological culture was lost. Society declined, spiraling downward until at last only a few scattered groups even remembered there once were better times. 1,000 years passed. At last, civilization is once more on the rise across the Algo system. People are again turning to thoughts of an easier life. Old knowledge is being rediscovered. But just as things look brighter, beyond a threshold long thought closed, a dark and very ancient evil stirs. So, this is another favorite game from my childhood, one of my favorite JRPGs. Chaz, we have work to do. Hurry up and get ready. As in so many other JRPGs, we start with some naggy woman waking us up from sleeping. In this case, it's not our mother. It is our partner, Alice. This is your first job since you joined the Hunters Guild. You'd better put your heart into it. So, I'm not a trainee anymore. I'm just going to say Chaz is pretty dorky looking. From this day on, you are a full-fledged partner. Now come on, let's go. Where are we off to this time? It's a bit far. We're going to Motavia Academy in the town of Piata. Wow, so we're going to the town of learning. I wonder what's happened there. Who knows? The message said, just come. Wait, what? We're mercenaries who responded to a message that told us nothing, it only said just come. This seems a little sus. We'll get the details once we're there. I am not controlling this part. This is a cutscene. Since we're going to be there anyway, I'd sure like to tour the academy. Is that all you can think about? Get moving or I'll leave you behind. AW 2284. Monster attacks have swelled the ranks of those who call themselves hunters. But as the attacks become ever... I can't advance the text here, it goes at its own pace. Ever more frequent and powerful, an elite few begin to wonder what is behind this outbreak. And when and how will it all end? There's a very evocative bit of scenery there, looking out over the wasteland. I quite like it. Oops, I wandered around and now I've gotten separated from Alice. I've got to find her. And she's right there, so... I don't know. Chaz, are you as dumb as you look? Okay, so the A button is not the button I want. I have not played this game in years, and I didn't do any practice runs before recording. Okay, apparently it's the C button for interacting with things. Got it. I have played this game before. I've cleared it a couple times, but like I said, it has been years, so there will be a little fumbling at first. Okay. Anybody else to talk to? About a month ago, monsters began to appear in the basement. I'm so frightened I can't even think about my research. You're the hunter commissioned by the principal? A kid like you? Are you going to be able to handle it? I don't blame him for having that reaction with Chaz's still got those fat baby cheeks. This is a horrid math book. Does that mean you think all math is horrid, or that that particular book about math is horrid? This is a very difficult math book. These books must be important. They're under lock and key. So there's a lot of interactables in this game. I'm definitely not going to go out of my way to try and interact with each and every single thing or talk to every single NPC. That would be a lot of walking around just talking to random people. Chaz, where have you been? Come on, let's go. Look, literally within line of sight. My goodness, these people. We have to see the principal and get the details about this commission. Alright, so now we are controlling both Alice and Chaz. Alright, and here's our menu. Item tech is going to be essentially our magic spells. So technically, magic and tech are two different things. One is like psionics, and that's what most people know about and have. The distinction to me is a strange one. Like, what exactly is the difference between magic and psionics? I don't know. I don't think the game ever really explains it either. Skills. So techs will use up our tech points, or TP. Skills you can only use a limited number of times between rests, which is honestly kind of more Dungeons and Dragon-ish, or, you know, tabletop RPG-ish. Equip, pretty self-explanatory, I think. What was state again? Okay, so first we can bring up character statuses, including some nice higher resolution portraits. There's Alice. And there's Chaz, who looks slightly less ridiculous in his higher resolution portrait, although he's still got those chubby baby cheeks. And we can rearrange the order of our party. No need to do that because, in case you missed it, oh, and you can also see it there in the upper right. Alice is level 7 and Chaz is level 1. So Chaz is a chump compared to Alice. And we can also talk. We better see the principal and get more details. So he's the one who requested the commission. I wonder where he is. And finally, there's macros. And with macros, you can basically set how you want your characters to act in battle. And you can choose specific actions you want them to take. And you can define the order in which they will act. Now, the reason this is important is because this game does have combination abilities where if certain characters activate the right sequence or combination of actions in the right order, they cause another more powerful action to occur. And that can be very difficult to set up unless you use macros. As far as I'm concerned, the entire purpose of macros is to set up those powerful combination attacks. Or maybe if there's certain actions that you just do over and over and over, it's faster to set up a macro and refer to that. Here at Motavia Academy, we search for the truth of the universe. This is the largest research facility on the entire planet. What do you think? Isn't it grand? It looks like an interesting place, doesn't it, Alice? Really? It doesn't interest me one bit. It's an engineering book. The bookcase contains many chemistry books. You shouldn't be opening cabinets without permission. The table is loaded with chemistry apparatus. Book is entitled Chemical Reagents. The principal's room is way in the back, but recently he's been acting strangely. He is scared of something. Was trying to inspect the telescope. Wow, what a view. Sadly, we, the player, don't get to see the view. Once there were 3 planets in the Algo solar system, but during the Great Collapse, the planet Parma was lost. Now only Desolus and this planet remain. So this is the fourth of the original Phantasy Star series. It references a lot of events from the previous 3 games. This was actually the first Phantasy Star game that I played, however, so I didn't get those references the first time I played it. And honestly, you don't need to know the references to enjoy the story. It stands on its own just fine. Comets and Observing Them. It's an astronomy book. A book titled Heavenly Phenomena. Alright, so we could go down the stairs, wander around, talk to tons of people, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to do all the side quests, some of which are easy to miss, but hopefully I won't miss any of them. But aside from that, I'm not going to try to get every little piece of dialogue or anything like that. I'll mostly stick to the story. Keep things moving. However, I will see if there's anything we can inspect here at the back of the principal's office. An interesting archaeology book, a historical document, and a locked cabinet. Okay. Alright, lay it on us, principal. The game does have these manga-style cutscenes, which is really cool. I like this a lot. I guess originally these were supposed to be fully animated or something, but that ended up getting nixed. Which is too bad, but these are still cool. Welcome. I'm the principal of this academy. Let's see, you must be Alice the Hunter, and you are her assistant Chaz. Forgive me, but Chaz is a full-fledged partner of mine. Now, let's get down to business. It's vaguely adorable how quickly Alice comes to Chaz's defense even though she gives him so much crap herself. Describe the situation. About a month ago, mysterious monsters started to appear within this academy. It appears that they have made the basement their headquarters. I have since closed it off. So far, no one's been hurt, but who knows when they'll appear again. Please, I beg you to destroy all those creatures. I'd like to settle this matter discreetly. I'm counting on your reputation, Alice. No problem, you can rely on us. Although it's strange that all those monsters suddenly appeared in this academy. Usually monsters don't come into inhabited areas. Do you have any idea how this happened? How would I know? Stop asking questions. Just hurry and exterminate those monsters. Don't forget, I'm paying you dearly for your services. Suspicious reaction from the principal. Good luck. I'm counting on you. Something smells fishy here. That principal is hiding something. Maybe he's afraid of the monsters? I think there's more to it than that. Things are starting to get interesting. So I used to be a really big fan of JRPGs. Probably my favorite genre of game, or one of my favorites once upon a time. These days, I don't like them as much as I used to, for a variety of reasons. A lot of them just have a lot of angsty teenage drama that I just don't have much patience for anymore now that I've gotten older. However, this is still one of my favorite games, even today. I think it holds up very well, and that it has aged very gracefully. I'm trying to inspect this statue. There we go. The God of Learning, Dr. Lubitz. A person from 2,000 years ago. So I believe that is a reference to somebody from the first game. Alright, and that fellow pacing rapidly back and forth. What? You're the hunters, really? You don't think we can do the job? No, not at all. I didn't mean that. Since we have the principal's permission, let us pass. Wait, take me with you. And why should we? My name is Han. I am an assistant at this academy. I work for Professor Holt, who's gone to investigate Birth Valley for his research. We haven't heard from him since. So now I'm searching for the professor's whereabouts. Birth Valley. That's that mysterious place that has been called the Sacred Valley of Life. But what's the connection between the valley and this current monster scare? After the investigation team led by the professor was reported missing, the principal barred everyone from entering Birth Valley. We're trying to get information as to what's going on, but he keeps evading the issue. And then this monster scare begins. I'll bet anything that there is some sort of connection between these incidents. While it's true that there is something fishy about the principal's behavior, given the circumstances, I feel compelled to investigate the basement myself. But come to think of it, it is a bit dangerous. So you were just waiting for us to arrive? Well, yes, you catch on quick. 100 Meseta. What? We'll take you with us for 100 Meseta. I hope you weren't thinking of asking to tag along with us for free. I can't get that kind of money from the principal. That's not my problem. Now what are you going to do? Okay, I'll pay. So this is our third party member, Han. I like Han, but he is kind of a nerd, it has to be said. So we bring him up on the status screen. There he is. He is also level 1. Armed with a leather band, dagger, leather shield, leather cloth. Age 24. Oh yeah, I forgot that it even gives that information. Alice refuses to divulge her age. Looks like she's in her early to mid-20s. Chaz only 16, which is why he just looks like a baby, I suppose. Alright, and what were they equipped with? Alice has a leather crown, a boomerang, which sounds lame, but is actually an incredibly awesome weapon, and leather cloth, and Chaz has a leather helmet, 2 hunter's knives, and leather cloth. Okay. Oh, that's just leather clothes, isn't it? That makes a lot more sense than leather cloth. They only have so many characters to work with. Okay, anyway. So now we've got our 2 hunters, Alice and Chaz, and now we've got a tag-along, Han. Let's go into the basement and see what this is all about. Change in atmosphere. Suddenly a lot creepier. I do like this dungeon music. Oh, creepy little thing. Runs out of view. Chest has been opened. Monome is procured. I like the use of the word procured for getting items out of chests. I don't know why, it's just kind of an unusual word, and it just gives a little bit of flavor. Look at all this dust. I can't read the titles on these books. Another chest. Monome is a healing item. I guess that was originally a reference to, I forget, some kind of snack or soft drink or something in Japan. But it is one of the distinguishing characteristics of Phantasy Star that healing items are called something mate, monomate, dimate, trimate. Alright, and so these are the first enemies we are encountering, the Xanafalg and the Zoran Bolt. Very strange names, but one thing I like about the monster names in Phantasy Star is they do sound like they came from a language of some kind. I don't know if they actually are inspired by any real life names or languages, but they sound like they could be, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, let's see what we can do. Excuse me. Alright. Alice has Vortex. As I said, it has been years since I played this game. I do not remember what everything is. I'm going to use this first battle as an opportunity to experiment with some of these. So we'll have her Vortex the Zoran Bolt, which clearly looks like the tougher of the two. Chaz can cast Res, which is the basic healing spell, and Earth, which I think paralyzes creatures, but let's cast it on the Xanafalg to find out. Han has Res, the healing spell, and Galoon. I don't remember what Galoon is. I think Vision makes us more accurate. I'm going to cast Galoon just to find out what it does. Alright, so that's just a straight up damage spell. And yes, Earth does paralyze. Attack power is down. Okay, so that's what Galoon does. Alright, let's wreck this little punk. So we couldn't really tell there because there was only one enemy left. But the awesome thing about boomerangs is that they attack every single enemy, which is very nice. So we go down the stairs to the next level. Get an antidote. Obviously that cures poison. Okay, so Chaz is just going to say the same thing for all of these, isn't he? So in terms of how to handle battles, If we get to the point where there's a whole lot of really repetitive battles, I'll go ahead and experiment with vision here. Then I will cut them out. But I won't... Yep, dexterity's up, so as I thought, that makes this more accurate. I'm not going to cut out every single repeat battle. As I said, I'll make a case-by-case judgment. But if it seems like it's getting repetitive, as JRPGs sometimes do with random battles over and over and over, then I will be merciful on you viewers and cut it out. What's this? So... looks like capsules for breeding monsters, and one of them is broken. And what is this thing? It's the first boss, Iglanova. Alright, so we will have Alice go ahead and vortex him. We'll see if Chaz can paralyze it. And sure, let's go ahead and have Han buff us. Good way to start the fight, I think. Alright, Chaz's paralyzation attempt failed. I will have Alice continue vortexing this guy while Chaz and Han concentrate on killing the little ones. Because I think as long as there are empty spaces for Iglanova to spawn little guys, that it will just do that over and over. So it's a good strategy to prevent it from ever being able to take any actions against us. And as you can see, the little Xanaphogs are really nothing to fear, even for our low-level party. If my memory serves, this is not really a game where grinding is ever necessary. You should be able to be high enough level to take on the challenges just by proceeding through the story at a normal pace. Which I appreciate, because I hate grinding. Okay, even though this is a boss battle, I'm going to continue experimenting to remind myself what these abilities all do. Let's have Alice cast Saner. And Chaz and Han can continue killing the Xanaphogs that spawn. Okay, so Saner is agility up, so that should improve our initiative and maybe our evasion. Not positive. What does Shift do? We'll have her cast Shift on herself. Apparently it's a buff of some kind. Also, I think we get experience points. Okay, that increases attack power. I think we get experience points for all the Xanaphogs we kill, so that's another good reason to concentrate on them and kill a bunch of them. And finally, Foy, I remember, is a fire spell. We'll ever cast Foy on... or a technique, not a spell. Again, I don't really understand the difference in terms of the story. Okay, he's dead. Victory! Each got 75 experience and 66 Meseta. Chaz leveled up. And Han leveled up. This is a pretty basic game where you just get fixed level ups and don't have like skill trees to choose from or anything. Very old school and traditional. Doesn't bother me at all. We did it! Chaz, you need more practice. Your swing is too slow. What? But we destroyed the monster. With my help. Sorry. More like Alice pulled almost all the weight in that fight. But hey, Han and Chaz helped kill the little ones. Now Han, come over here. What? What are these glass containers for? These... Hey, are you by any chance breeding monsters here? If that's the case, this monster business is no mystery after all. I don't know anything. It's the first time I've been in this room. I've only just learned that such a thing exists at the Academy. Really, it's the truth. I believe you, for now. The principal must know about these containers. He must also know the connection between this and the disappearance of Professor Holt. Yes, let's see the principal again. Come on, Chaz. Hey, don't leave me here. Alice sometimes skirts the line between being so assertive that she's kind of annoying and just being awesome. But I think that she mostly falls more on the awesome side of that gradient. She doesn't take crap. So that demonstrates the awesomeness of the boomerang. Later, we can equip her with a second boomerang and she can throw 2 of them at once, which is even better and looks really cool. So that's the opening dungeon. Very tiny. One more fight to do on our way out. Just kind of a little gentle introduction, tutorial to the game kind of thing. Alright, let's go pay that principal a visit. First, wonder what my party members have to say to each other. I wonder what that capsule's in the basement are for. That's not very grammatical. I'm going to make the principal tell us. Hey you, you're coming along too. Whom, me? Oh Han, you are no match for Alice at all. What's wrong? You seem upset. Were you able to defeat those monsters? Yes, but there's something I want to ask you. What? Is it just my imagination that I saw some strange things in the basement? So, just as an aside here, did the principal not think this through? We were obviously going to see the capsules in the basement. Stop beating around the bush. Someone keeping information from me is the 6th most dangerous thing in this world. I want to know what the first 5 are. Alright already. I'll tell you what I know. You're aware of the recent outbreak of a new breed of monster? Oh yes, thanks to the outbreak, I'm not hurting for work. 3 months ago, Holt identified Birth Valley as the origin of the outbreak, and he went to investigate. He says he discovered the remains of an ancient and advanced civilization. The investigation team brought back the monster breeding capsules and immediately set forth on their second investigative mission. But not one of them came back. Yes, that's right, Han. And despite all this, you didn't send out a rescue team and banned entry to Birth Valley. No. I was trying to send out a rescue team, but something happened. At that moment, a man who called himself Zio appeared before my eyes. Zio, I've heard of him. That fake magician. Okay, so I was very confused by this scene as a child, because it seems like Zio just suddenly appears in the scene. This is actually a flashback, which I think could be communicated more clearly. But anyway, yes, so this is the principal sort of explaining what happened in the past. So this is Zio. He's going to be our villain for much of the game. My dear principal of Motavia Academy, how are you doing? Who are you? My name is Zio. Zio the Black Magician. I have incredibly awesome shoulder guards. Do not intrude on Birth Valley. What do you mean? In the future, if you ever let anyone set foot in Birth Valley... Let me make something clear. There is no need for you to go to Birth Valley. So this is a bit of a translation thing. In Japanese, it seems that, this is just my impression from games I've played, anime I've watched, in this kind of scenario, with Zio saying there's no need for you to go to Birth Valley, that sounds very strange in English. It's not very natural sounding. But in Japanese, it seems like that's basically used as a threat. When you say there is no need for you to X, they're basically saying if you do X, you're going to regret it. So I would have localized this differently, but in general, this game is localized very well for the time in which it came out. But there are little hiccups here and there. Anyways, it's related to the research team. So that's why the Birth Valley situation wasn't announced, and also why you tried to keep a lid on the monster situation. But what is all this about? Remains of an ancient advanced civilization, and Zio? Seems like these are signs of something to come. I need to help the professor. I'm going to Birth Valley. Psst, Han. This is egg-laying season for sandworms, so be careful. Alice? We'll tag along for 300 Meseta plus expenses. Deal. Oh, Alice. Oh, extorting this poor guy. Birth Valley is to the northeast. Let's hurry. Alright, so that is going to be our next quest, to go to Birth Valley and see if we can get to the bottom of this monster outbreak. Alright, so that's going to do it for the first episode of Let's Play Phantasy Star The End of the Millennium. Super stoked to play this, one of my favorite RPGs of all time. One of relatively few JRPGs that I still have as high opinion of it as I did when I first played it. Really think it's held up over time. So I hope that you're looking forward to this playthrough as well, and I will see you next time for part 2 as we start heading toward Birth Valley. Bye!